And that's the words of David Ferdinand joining us now here at T Mazda Subaru. It is God and Country Day here in the Treasure Valley. Good morning.
We're here. Good morning, Kevin.
Good to have you with us, David.
Yeah, it's good to be here. In fact, we got some more folks going to stop by and say good morning. And it is. I mean, if you look at that sunrise coming up,
right?
It's going to be an incredible day. We've had some pretty hot ones over the years, but this one's going to be 80 something. If you believe Larry Gebert, I'm thinking it's probably going to be a pretty nice day. I think all in all, with everybody coming out to the Ford Idaho Center Amphitheater, we're going to have a great day.
Well, and here's the fascinating thing. You're right. It's usually very hot. It's usually triple digits when we're talking about the 53rd annual Treasure Valley God and Country Festival. David Ferdinand joining us here. We're at T Mazda Subaru talking about this great event. For people that have never been, that aren't familiar with it, that hear about it, can you give us a brief history?
In fact, as I've been hearing you, in your pre-recorded, process of saying, okay, here's what it is.
Right.
It did start 53 years ago when the country, during the Vietnam War era, the country wasn't as patriotic. There were a lot of people clashing against thoughts and ideas and, what's freedom and who should we be fighting for, those kinds of things. Chuck Connors did go around the country, and he really established the patriotic parades. And when he was doing these patriotic parades, a group of guys in Nampa said, you know what, we need to have a rally afterwards. And it kind of sounds like a watch a watch time like Kevin Miller puts together. It's one of and that's exactly what
probably
happened.
Like Kevin Miller's watch parties on like steroids, where you have thousands of people getting together to celebrate God and country, David Ferdinand. And today, we need that message now more than ever.
Well, there you go. And it started that way very, very simply. Parade America still happens in Nampa. They moved it from the Wednesday before the 4th to the third Saturday of May, and the ministerial groups, those people that were having the rallies, said, "Now let's keep it on Wednesday before the 4th." And so we move it out about a week,
right?
Just to make sure that this is the kickoff and the celebration of the founding of our incredible country. I mean, think about all that we have accomplished as a nation. Still today, of course, you talk about it and Fox News all the time as to what our nation really needs to be. We believe that Canyon County and Nampa, the Treasure Valley, is what America used to be.
And could be again. David Ferdinand joining us, Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio from T Mazda Subaru. God and Country Day here in the Treasure Valley. Let me ask you a little. We had your friend Joe Bell on yesterday. He called in, and he talked a little bit about Nampa. What does this, and we, obviously we want everybody from the Treasure Valley to come in, but what does this mean to Nampa?
Oh, wow. When you're talking, I think it is the kickoff to the 4th of July. It is, I think, first of all, it's an honor to be able to have this event in such a nice venue where we can actually control some of the things that go on, but yet have the freedom to just wander around and be in a festival atmosphere where we bring a lot of the ministries, a lot of the services for our community so that people can actually come and connect. St. Alphonsus Mobile Clinic is going to be there. Somebody needs to get their blood tested. There's not going to be a charge for those kinds of things. If you don't have insurance, you don't get turned away. So there's services. There's taking care of the people. So I think for the city of Nampa, for the Treasure Valley, it's a great opportunity for people to connect with what's going on in our community as well.
Indeed. David Ferdinand joining us here, talking about God and country. And David, we've got you're going to be hugging this young lady here. Please introduce this young lady who's with us right now. Grab the microphone, ma'am. You're good to go. And
I just noticed that this is Sandy Levi. Sandy's one of our advisory board members, and also happens to be a Nampa City Councilman.
All right.
But boy, you talk about give to the community. Morning, Sandy.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here,
Good to have you with us here. We'll have you guys. Why don't we try that again, Sandy? Just so your mic's working there.
Good morning.
Oh, her mic isn't working, so we'll have to share it. Sandy, we'll have David break away the microphone here. This is we're very fiscal conservative, so we only have really one working microphone here on KIDO Talk Radio. However, let's just roll with it right now. Sandy, what does this mean to Nampa?
When I think of God and country, I think of God, I think of patriotic country, and I think of community. And so first I think of God, and we all have faith of some sort.
Right.
But this gives an opportunity to really put the gospel message out to our community. And it's not just our community, but it's all of Treasure Valley. People from Oregon coming, people from southern Idaho, and that's pretty exciting. And then secondly, I think of the patriotism of our country. And it gives us an opportunity to reflect on what our country is about, what it has been and what it should be, but also to think about the direction that we're headed. And then lastly, I think about community. I'm all about community. And when I see people coming together not only to worship but to celebrate our country, that's pretty exciting. And to know that we can be doing this in Nampa, Idaho at the Ford Idaho Center, we're honored.
Well, Sandy, and as David and I have talked about here on KIDO Talk Radio, what a great setting because you're right next to the freeway. You have access to everywhere else, and it's just such a welcoming event. The city is welcoming, and again, we're a Treasure Valley show, but what is it? You go back to Nampa, having this here in Nampa, Idaho for years. One of the great things I love about coming to Nampa, first of all, it's much closer to where I live, so that's being very selfish. But second of all, when you're in Nampa or when you're in Canyon County, but specifically Nampa, it means more when you do things.
Correct. Nampa is a wonderful city, and each and every day, Kevin, I am charged with the duty of keeping Nampa's lifestyle, their quality of life, and the charm. People tell us, we don't want to be another Boise, we don't want to be another Meridian, keep us who we are. And I believe that the God and Country Festival really reflects that.
Indeed. Sandy, a lot of volunteers. Everybody volunteers on this, right?
Correct. A lot of volunteers. We've been working all year long to bring this dynamic show to the Valley. No one's paid. Everyone works crazily. And I heard David yesterday make the comment that he does the job of 5 people. And I will attest, he definitely does the job of 5 people. And I'm honored to serve alongside of him.
We'll have more coming up next. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. And welcome back. Here we are, Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. It is God and Country Day from Team Mazda Subaru here on the Boulevard. We've got David Ferdinand with us. We've got Sandy Levi. We've got Kevin Harper. We've got the whole gang here. And this is what I love. This is what I love when people are dedicated to the cause. They join us in the 6 o'clock hour. It's very easy to come on in at 8:30. Yeah, Kevin, we're with you every step of the way. But these guys are committed when we're talking about God and country. Before we get to Kevin and back to David, Sandy, getting back to this issue of faith, we have so many people coming into the Treasure Valley that are new, that might be a little hesitant, kind of like me, a little shy. What would you say to encourage them to not only come out, because the weather is going to be probably the best we've had in years, but to enjoy this free experience?
We have some wonderful entertainment lined up for you this evening. We have our pastor, our keynote speaker is Josh Branham, and we also have the group of Seventh Time Down. They're a Christian rock group, great music. Several people will be familiar with them, and if they're not, I'm sure they're going to enjoy the music. And of course, the grand finale will be our fireworks show. And I can remember bringing my kids to see the fireworks show from very, very young. And there were times, unfortunately...
Hold on, Sandy. We apologize once again. That mic's not working, so we're going to have you... And David Ferdinand is a radio guy. Actually, just if you can just pull the mic stand out. And folks, this is what we call living in the moment here. So, again, we're fiscal conservatives. We only believe in 2 working mics here when we're out here. And God bless my friend Logan. Every time he does a Kevin Miller remote, it's always a disaster. So we go back to Sandy here. And if we could, if you just say, this is about God, faith, and family, and wherever you're from, people might, they might keep that to themselves. But here it's a celebration tonight.
Correct. And you have the freedom to openly worship, to talk about your faith, to talk about your patriotism and your appreciation of our country. And this is greatly encouraged. And this is what the celebration is about. It's our community coming together, honoring God, talking about our faith, sharing our faith, and being patriotic and appreciating what our country is.
Indeed. All right, Kev, we'll go to you. Just get all closer here together before we go to traffic and weather together. Kevin, talk a little bit about the event tonight.
Oh, I'm just looking so forward to it. It's going to be great. The weather is fantastic, and we've had such hot weather in the past.
Yes, Kevin, we have.
I'm so looking forward to it. Just enjoying a really nice evening with Seventh Time Down and some great speakers. And Maddie Zom from American Idol is going to be there, so it's going to be a blast.
Right, but as Sandy talked about, David as well, talking about God.
Absolutely.
In our world today.
It's so missing, and I'm so passionate about being able to exercise our First Amendment freedom to speak. Speaking truth and love is what we should be all about, and we've kind of lost that, I think, in our culture, and we're trying to just recapture a little bit of it. And
what's your favorite part?
Oh, I love the music.
Right.
I love the music. I love the speakers. The message is going to be awesome. Josh Branham is going to be awesome. But I love the music.
Right.
I love just being there with family. I have former foster kids that come and meet us every year there, so it's kind of a reunion sometimes. And it's pretty cool.
Right. You're a big-hearted guy. I remember you every year. You say, Kevin, you need to do this, this, and this, and I go, yeah, Kevin Harper, you're right. I need to do this, this, and
I
this.
have to plug foster care somehow because these kids need us.
And that's what it's about. And if this show ended tomorrow, if we could get the message out about that, we should
preach.
Yeah, exactly. Tell it, brother. All right. Traffic and weather together, KIDO Talk Radio. Let's get you to work safely and on time. Good morning, Robin. And there we have it. More of God and Country here. Kevin Miller in the morning from Team Mazda Subaru. David Ferdinand, obviously this is going to be a big event tonight. Gates open at 4. Music starts at 5. Fireworks when it gets dark, which will probably be about midnight here. Yeah. Just kidding. In the Treasure Valley. Let's go into the volunteer effort that makes this happen.
Oh, wow. Volunteers are the heart, I think, of most every organization. But once you get the once it happens, then all the planning starts for the next year. So we've been working over a year to actually make this event occur. We've got volunteers that take care of, let's say, for instance, the food. Last night we found out that the refrigerator wasn't on when we put all that water and all that stuff in there, and so Dale was down there. Dale Reynolds, who runs is the program coordinator.
Well, we don't know, but we do know now.
Well,
everybody
now
knows. Yes,
I mean this. The world knows,
right?
And this guy, calls me about 11 o'clock and says, "Hey, we got a problem." So it takes volunteers. It's all a volunteer group, as Sandy said. We have advisory board and a board that volunteers.
Sure, but why do you do it? I mean, that's a lot of extra work.
Yeah,
there are thousands of people.
Yeah,
that's a lot of water. That's a lot of stuff. And do you ever think, any of you guys think, man, I could be home watching the shows, like the president always says, the shows.
Well, our families sometimes say that. You know what that's like,
right?
But somebody's got to do it,
right?
We've got to carry on and keep up that freedom, that faith. The families of our communities, they depend on it. People start texting us early in the year and say, "Who's coming? What's going on?"
Right.
And the military portion. When we this year we hope to honor every military person, every family of military, every public servant, fire, law enforcement. We hope to honor all of these guys tonight because that's what a community does. We come together, we honor those that serve one another. And so all of the volunteers that are involved, probably 200-300, I don't know. There's a lot of people that are involved with people coming and setting up booths and having information for the entire group that's there. But the people that are there to work the concessions, the people that are there to help just guide people and do the security from one place to another. All these people come together for one purpose, and that is to celebrate God and country tonight.
Our great friend David Ferdinand talking about God and Country. Sandy here on KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. There is a special ceremony that takes place every year, and dovetailing on what David said, here you have people that are getting ready, young people, and every year they get younger, swear their oath to the Constitution to join the military. They get indoctrinated right there at God and Country. That's amazing.
That sends chills, Kevin, in my soul. I have two young people that have served and are currently serving our country, one that was in the Coast Guard and one that is currently in the Air Force.
Wow. Thank you.
And
thank you for their service.
You are welcome, and I am honored because I have really invested in raising my children to love our country and to want to serve our country. When we talk about volunteering or serving, to me that's an extension of who I am in Christ, and I want it to communicate that to my kids, but I also want it to communicate to them how we really need it to appreciate the country that we live in and the freedoms that we have. So when I see the swearing in ceremony, it is incredible to me. I get chills, I get excited, and to know that these young people want to serve. Recently I gave a prayer at an event, and one of the things that I had said is we might never understand the heart of someone who sacrifices to serve our country. We could never understand that level of patriotism, because when they make the commitment to serve, they also know that there's the possibility that they might be giving the ultimate sacrifice. And I am so appreciative. And so when I see these people up on the platform and they're swearing in to our country to serve our country and uphold the Constitution of the United States, it is a magnificent event. Probably one of my favorite parts of the God and Country Festival.
And obviously we would love people to stop by. We'd love people to cheer these young people on. You know, it's a scary thing leaving home. It's a scary thing, 18, 19, just going to basic training or boot camp, and now with these multiple deployments, with the threats against our nation, every year I'm sure we all get inspired by what these kids do. And I mean, they're kids, but they're just amazing.
It is amazing, and again, I really have great admiration for them. And then I think of the families that are standing behind our soldiers and what they go through in the absence of our soldiers as they're deployed multiple times, and the toll it takes on marriages and the families. And we really need to be supportive of our veterans. We need to be supportive of those who are serving our country, and especially their families.
Indeed, and families are so important, Kevin Harper, when we're talking about the big fireworks display. I was going back and forth with our friends at the Broadcast Center, and they couldn't believe just how long this program is. This is the biggest fireworks display we're going to see in the Treasure Valley coming up tonight.
It is. We've always been proud of how much effort goes into the coordination of it, of the fireworks show, and it is one of the largest here in Idaho. It's not the largest, I don't think, but it is one of the largest for sure.
We don't
largest in the Treasure Valley.
We don't really let facts get in the way here on this show.
Let's not talk about that. But it's a really good fireworks show.
Like
a lot
17
goes
minutes.
Into it. It is.
Yeah.
And it's like it's powerful.
It
Moving.
is. And the beauty of the God and Country fireworks is it's patriotism, but it's faith. It's God. It's Christ. I had a chance to just, as we were loading it into the system, to go over. And by the way, you can hear the music on KIDO Talk Radio tonight. Sync it up while you're in the parking lot of CWI or of Walmart or even at the festival. But, Kevin, I'm sitting there going, some of these songs just really hit close to home, obviously about our country, but about our faith.
Oh, absolutely. I think God made music to really resonate with our hearts, and it moves us. It does, and I think that's why music is such a powerful thing, and just the fireworks along with that music and those lyrics. I mean, that's why I say the music is just that's what does it for me. It brings tears to my eyes. It sends shivers up my spine.
Right.
Because we always have to remember, that people fought and died for the freedoms that we have. And I think we just have to be grateful for that. And I think our culture just needs a little more gratitude, and this is all about expressing some of that tonight.
Well, and back to Sandy and David's point, you have people coming back the 116th. They were just on their final training before they're deployed to Germany. We've gotten accustomed to people coming home, and I can't think of a better homecoming than this event this evening.
Absolutely. It's going to be fantastic.
All right, much more from God and Country tonight. We would love for you to join us there. We are here at Team Mazda Subaru, God and Country Day on KIDO Talk Radio. Let's find out what's happening in your world. Good morning, Maggie. And here we are once again back at Team Mazda Subaru God and Country Day. We've got the gang all here. We've got Sandy, Kevin, David, and Kevin Miller getting ready for this awesome event this evening. David Ferdinand, something you wanted to mention here about the great people that sponsor this event, and it's free. And one of the things that I have learned that my time in the Treasure Valley is that volunteers make it happen, but partnerships make it happen. Where these businesses say, "Look, we just want to support the message. We just want to support the faith. We just want to support the freedom. Here's such and such amount of money to make it happen."
Yeah, and Kevin, you're absolutely right. The partnerships that have helped some of them for decades. It's just amazing how they step up every year to really make this happen. We start contacting people about September, and then they forget all about it until the week before.
Right.
And we have a lot of fun putting it together. But people have been hearing about God and Country, not only from the posters and the things that are out, but also from Town Square Media, from KIDO.
Well, from your friends at Channel 7 too.
Yeah,
They've been all about it this morning.
Channel 7, they're helping, and all the other media facilities really do step up and help. But the interesting thing is we've got some new sponsors this year that have come into the Treasure Valley, and one of the first things they wanted to do was get involved with the God and Country Festival. So we're thrilled with that. Of course, Team Mazda, where we are this morning, they're going to come alongside us again this year. But we've got St. Alphonsus, we've got the mobile clinic, we've got the mammogram. I guess I don't know if you call it a mammogram mobile, probably not, but. I'm not sure the technical term, but they're going to be out there so people can actually enjoy getting their health. Take a look at what's happening with your health as well.
Right.
So there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things to do. St. Alphonsus is one of the sponsors. Signature Roofing, Homes of Idaho, Citywide Mortgage.
Are we giving away a roof tonight? Signature Roofing giving away a roof? Roof over your head. How about that?
And Renewal by Anderson is a new sponsor this year, and they're going to be giving away something. I'm not sure just exactly, some sort of package or basket of something, maybe some gift cards or something. Then they just want to give back to the community as to what's going on.
Right.
So we've got, and that's just a few of the list of probably 60 or 70 sponsors that have stepped up, and many of them are just wanting to help, so they donate.
Right.
You can go to our website, hit the donate button if you'd like to help.
And we want to thank all of them for that.
And we do.
And we do. Sandy, back to you. There's going to be a prayer for the public servants and elected officials this evening. You that have been in the arena, continue to be in arena as an elected official. What does that mean? Why do they do that at God Country? What's the significance, ma'am?
Well, Kevin, I am so appreciative that once again we can openly share our faith and have an expression of that. And tonight at the festival, when the elected officials come forward, we're not only recognized as public servants, but we are going to be prayed for by our community. And especially in the times of America right now, we definitely need the prayers. And for me personally, I look forward to being prayed for, and I appreciate the fact that I know that there are people out there praying. They're lifting us up, our servants' heart to God, and that we will have clarity of mind and clarity of speech as we think through decisions, as we listen to people in our community, and we're making decisions that affect them.
And that's very important. Kevin, let's get back to you. We've got not only the music that we've talked about earlier tonight at God and Country, but we've got people talking about their journey, their faith, their experience, sharing Christ with us this evening.
Absolutely. I mean, just the ability to do that in a free country and to openly share our faith in a public square is just incredible. I think a lot of times we just take it for granted living in the country that we do and don't realize, what we've been blessed with.
Sure.
And people are allowed to come in here and do that.
Sure. We're going to go to Tanya J. Powers right now, Fox News Radio. Got so carried. What's that? Oh, no Tanya J. Powers. So we'll continue on. David Ferdinand is a lifelong radio guy. It's a A lot of issues here this morning, but it wouldn't be a Kevin Miller show without him.
You know,
Yes.
Kevin, it's live,
Right.
and you know what? I'll tell you what. We do enjoy hearing all of those connections from Washington D.C.
Sure.
and what's going on, especially from people like Tanya J. Powers and all the others. That,
She stood
that
us
are
up
working.
today, so we're
No,
gonna
she stood you up.
Yeah.
So you know, you
have
go
a
to
lot
the
of
next,
experience with that. Yes,
You
so
go to Kevin Harper.
back
You
to
know,
Kevin
or
Harper.
you go to
It's a
to
tough
Sandy.
call. Tanya J. Powers, Kevin Harper. Kevin Harper here, Tanya J. Powers in New York City. We'd much rather be here. Let's get back to the theme of something that we talk about a lot on this program, and I'd love for all of you to answer. Sandy, you've touched on this. We'll go to you, Kevin Harper, first. This issue, and you see, we're so confused here. Anyway, but the idea that we have a public event in a public square where we can openly say we love Christ, we love God, we love America. Many people that call into this program think that that's going the way of the wind.
Well, it is. I mean, you have big tech, trying to take away those freedoms to speak openly, and whatnot. And we just have to assert that right and make sure that everyone knows we have the right to do this, and we're going to do it kindly and lovingly, and have a really good family-centered atmosphere around it. But if I consider it to be similar to copyright law. Or trademark law. If a company doesn't defend its trademark, then the courts have ruled that they don't have a right to that trademark anymore. Well, it's the same with our liberties. If we don't actually use our liberties and defend them, then they kind of get lost. And so it's just really exciting to me to be part of an event that celebrates that in a very positive way, family environment.
And Sandy, what do you say to new people that are coming in that maybe from west of here, whether it's Oregon, whether it's Washington, maybe it'll be some of the, we were joking about that with Joe Bell, the Oregon State Republicans, and this is a nonpartisan event, but people that are, in a place where they don't talk about religion, they don't talk about it at work, they may talk about it if they're lucky at church, but a very different place than the state of Idaho.
Tonight you can come to the God and Country Festival, and you can be who you are in Christ and who Christ has made you. And we can do that openly. And it's so exciting to do that in a great group of believers and other people that have no idea who Christ is and what he's all about. And I would just invite each and every person to come tonight and to hear who Jesus Christ is, to understand what he has done for you when he died on the cross, and that he has died to save you, and that he can transform your heart and your life. It's a very, very exciting time. And that is the theme of this whole festival. It's who Christ is. It's about God, it's about faith in our country. And I'm just hoping that in our music tonight, in our speaker, in the MC, in every single thing that happens tonight, that Christ is honored and glorified in all.
And that is not just saying, but showing.
Amen.
Amen.
I totally agree.
David Ferdinand, your thoughts?
I'm just sitting here thinking of over the years, we have several people who sponsor the event, who come in and really, as Sandy said, really are not there for the Christ-centered aspects of it, but they're for the freedoms. They appreciate what has transpired in our country. If we, you think of what we are so blessed as a nation. God blessed us so much that we get to sit here at Team Mazda, with Kevin Miller and speak about an incredible event that really honors the founding of our nation.
And speaking of which, we have the state leaders here with us. And,
we do.
We've had former Governor Otter. We've had Governor Little when he was lieutenant governor. Who are we having tonight?
Lieutenant Governor, now Governor.
The governor, the big guy.
Lieutenant. When he was lieutenant governor, he came and helped every year.
He did.
So we called him early and got with his,
his people.
His people.
Yes.
And said, hey, now that Brad Little is governor, is Brad going to be able to be there? And he's flying back from someplace this afternoon, and he'll definitely be there to welcome all of those that come out tonight.
He's not helicoptering in.
I don't think he's helicoptering.
That's not his speed.
It's not like Idaho Helicopter
Right,
1.
right.
We do have a helicopter, a Blackhawk, by the
Okay.
way, that will be in the parking lot.
But it won't be the governor won't be coming in on the
governor.
platform,
I don't
no.
think the governor's coming in on it, but he will be there.
Right. The governor and all the elected officials.
Well, yeah,
right.
lieutenant governor.
What does that say that the chief executive of the state supports this event?
Yeah, it says a lot about Idaho. Here's a guy that, and I think, quite frankly, now that he's governor, he has stepped up and is doing. He's talked about removing over 900 regulations. He's kind of following the path of a business guy to say, look, we got to make Idaho what it needs to be in order to ensure the fact that people can come and live
Right.
and live freely.
But you're not going to get that message tonight. You're going to get the message of, hey, thank you for coming here.
They
And
are, yeah. Well, and
he's a talker.
and Mayor Kling, Mayor Debbie Kling.
You know what I love about David Ferdinand? You can't get him off message. Not at all. You can try.
You
yes.
told me what to say, and I'm saying
My man David Ferdinand. Yes, and Mayor Kling will be here. We certainly appreciate her.
Yeah.
Anything else that you folks would like to say here?
I'll turn to the screen. Isn't it great to have a whole group? I noticed Leo come. Here's
Right. Well,
Leo.
we've got the thousands of people that are listening that really we love Leo, but they don't know that Leo's here.
Oh, he's important.
Yes, right. They I'm sure everybody that knows Leo knows Leo's here, but we're actually speaking now. David Ferdinand. Hold on. Now, David Ferdinand. Do I have to give you a broadcasting lesson here? We're not speaking to everybody at the table. Lovely people, we love them. This is great. This is wonderful. But I can hear Jeff the Suit right now in my head going, "Speak to the larger audience."
Yes. Here's the thing that's happening tonight. I was privileged to pick up a couple of guys that are the lead singer and the engineer for Seventh Time Down.
Right.
That's
now,
where I was going with this.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that.
Exciting guys.
And when it comes to excitement, you are our Mr. Excitement
Yeah.
here. Coming up next, much more. KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. We're going to find out about. Who's that again?
Seventh Time Down.
Why that's important. Leo will join us. We'll take your phone calls as well. If you would like to talk about faith, if you'd like to talk about family and freedom and God, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. This is our first really God and Country morning show. We hope to do this every year where we kick off God and Country Day. Maybe eventually, David Ferdinand, you're probably going to correct me, which, look, good. God and Country Week. We should have a God and Country Week.
We've been doing God and Country year, Kevin.
Yes, so. God and Country here. Yes. Well, they don't call me bandwagon Kevin Miller for nothing. All right. You're listening to Kevin Miller on your home for Hannity, KIDO Talk Radio. And welcome back, Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Here at Team Mazda Subaru, we appreciate that. Celebrating God and Country. We've got so many folks here with us. Let's go to Kevin Harper once again. Kevin, you want to talk about the ministry here tonight, and then back to David Ferdinand that's going to talk about the wonderful music. Obviously, we'll take your phone calls on the greater topic, faith, family, and freedom in America today, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. We want everybody to show up, but we also want people to participate as you do each and every morning. Kevin, let's talk a little bit about the ministry here this evening.
Yeah, so there's one of the coolest things that is part of this event is just having free exposure for ministries, nonprofits, and they don't have to be Christian ministries. There are some just nonprofit organizations that do service work that set up free tables, and they have access to the 13,000 to 14,000 people that could show up, and it's just a really good way to get the community to come together and to serve people, help people.
Now, this is what I love about you guys is you undersell the attendance. 13,000 to 14,000 people within the amphitheater, but, and we're constantly reminded that people, whether it's in Mountain Home or Caldwell or whatever, are new to this event. And we're talking about the amphitheater being filled, but then we have other places where people will watch the fireworks, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people come and join it from the parking lot, around the event. You can see it from the hill, the golf course area. A lot of people come check it out, and it's just a great family event.
And I'm trying to figure out if you had to put an attendance figure just on the Garrity area with the Walmart parking lot, CWI. I guess you'd say the unofficial attendees. What would you think it would be at?
That would be really interesting to know for
right.
sure. But I would peg it at maybe a total of 20,000.
20,000? Dave, no, my man. No, yeah,
higher. Dave's saying higher.
We need to go to Dave on this one.
Listen, they tell us, and by the way, the Nampa, the police departments, the sheriff's office, all of these, the state police, all of these guys do a great job.
Right.
But they tell us somewhere between 30 and 50,000 people that get
Are in that
parked
area?
in that area or around the area that actually watch that fireworks. So, we're asking them to drive carefully, be nice, and celebrate the 4th of July, kindly to one another.
Sure.
Because, Kevin, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of people out there that are either at the parking lot across the street, the Walmart, where Kevin Miller spends a lot of time,
Hanging out there.
But there's the Gateway, the golf courses, the car dealerships. They tell us that all these car dealerships around the Ford Idaho Center that have places for people to park in the front, that they seem to come in and find a place to park. And, of course, CWI.
Right.
We don't want to leave CWI out of it.
Well, and the great thing about this, David Ferdinand, is you can watch the fireworks. You can listen to the music that y'all have put together on KIDO Talk Radio. And then we have the post-game show, which we launched last year, and we will do it again this year. Now, it's funny because I love all of you that have shown up. You have made me a believer. I was talking to the folks at the team. I go, everybody's committed, but we never see anybody in the 6 o'clock hour. So I know you guys are committed, but last year I go, hey, you can join me on the post-game show. And basically it's 12,000 people looking at a guy turning red and purple trying to describe an event. And you have to be self-aware to be good with saying that. But, so all are welcome to stop by the post-game show. Now, Joe and Tammy Bell say they're going to be this year.
I've heard it, and quite frankly,
Alrena, I remember, I think I was looking for you.
Well, I was probably
exhausted.
Finding something.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I need to find this.
Right.
Well, it is a tremendous community event, and we appreciate, Kevin, you doing shows from 5 a.m. clear till post game. We're talking, probably tomorrow sometime.
Yes, it'll be fun.
So and that's the other part of this, where KIDO comes in and does a booth. Team Mazda, all of these different people that we talked about Signature Roofing giving away a roof tonight. There are all kinds of incredible sponsors that come together and partner with us
for God and country.
For God and country.
Much more coming up next. Traffic and weather together. Let's get you to work safely and on time. KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. Good morning, Robin.